It's no secret that here in Coweta County, we're blessed to have three of the most successful softball programs in the state. Today, you're going to get a glimpse into why that's a fact as we hear from some of our coaches and players from Newnan High School's Class 6A state championship team. Stay tuned. All right, I'm here now with three members of the Coweta High School Association Class 6A State Championship softball team from Newnan High School. Welcome.
Thank you.
You guys, we've had a ton of fun while we're waiting to get this thing started. We've been going for just a little while trying to get the show started and get everything organized. So, Maddie Ville, introduce yourself to everybody.
I'm Maddie Ville, and I'm a pitcher.
Awesome. Addie?
I'm Addie Smith, and I play second base.
Awesome.
I'm Presley Ivy, and I play shortstop.
All right, so Maddie, you're the pitcher. I think you've had 7 shutouts straight to end the season, which is unheard of against that level of competition.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to start with you. We're just going to go straight at it. What does it feel like when people say Maddie Ville, state champion?
I'm still in shock. It doesn't feel real. It hasn't quite hit me that, like, the season's over. Like, we're state champions. Like, it's just unreal.
Yeah, Addie?
Same. Like, we weren't expecting it, and I feel like as the season went on, we kind of grew together and worked as a team. And we might not have been, like, the biggest team out there, but we definitely, like, worked together the best.
Yeah, I feel like nobody was expecting it at all. Like, I didn't even think we were going to make it at first, but as the season went on, we really did start playing, like, as a team together, and it's just, like, shocking that we made it.
Yeah, and Addie, you hit on something I think really important. As I watched you guys throughout the year, you really just got better and better and better. Talk about maybe why. Why do you feel like it was just that way? It was almost a season of destiny.
So we all started out, like, kind of on a rough start, but as we kind of got to know each other and, you know, like, because me and Maddie and, like, we've all grown up together, so it was kind of easier to bond, and we kind of, you know, hung out more and did more things. We hung out at Maddie's house a few times, and all as a team.
Yeah, awesome. You got to tell me about the boot. I've heard a little bit about the boot, but you don't pitch like there's anything wrong with your ankle. Tell me what's going on.
So I hurt my foot in the first game, in the first inning, when we were playing Northgate, and it's like my midfoot. The pain just won't go away.
Wow.
So I just deal with it. It's just a little bit of adversity.
Now somebody, and I won't say who, but somebody told me a little bit of superstition there. You had to keep wearing the boot all year long. Is that right?
Oh, yes, sir.
Not that softball players are a little bit superstitious.
I was trying to get out of it, but they told me it's a superstition. It's my good luck charm.
That's right. That's right. And you guys, I mean, you went on quite the run there at the end of the year. 7 straight shutouts to end the year, and stretching back, I mean, how many games in a row did you guys win to close out the year? Do you remember?
7.
So it's 7 straight, but back to the region tournament and all through there is like 15 or 16 straight. Is that right?
Probably, yeah. Probably.
Just wow. If I'm not mistaken, the first gymnastics won a state title a couple years ago, I think right after the tornado. But other than that, it had been years since a team sport from Newnan High won the state championship. I see you smiling a little bit there. What's that mean to you?
I just think it's crazy, like, that we won. Like, nobody's really else has won. And we just came out of nowhere.
It's just kind of wild. So there's more than 3 people on a softball team, obviously. Yes. Somebody step in and tell me a little bit about some of the other people who are on your team. Name some of them and their positions that they play.
Carly Hector, our left fielder, came in strong in the playoffs, and that's how we got our runs in the semifinals, the game right before we went to the championship. She came in. I think she went like 3 for 3.
Wow.
something like that.
And she was the reason we got on the board then. And then she was on base when Presley hit her in the championship. So she came in strong.
Yeah, and Presley probably ain't going to bring this up, but I will. So in the final game, 4 for 4, is that right?
Was it?
Yeah?
Yeah.
She's not going to bring it up, but she didn't even remember. That's impressive, though. Biggest game of the year, state championship, go 4 for 4.
Yes, sir.
Pretty awesome, especially against that level of competition. So who are some of the other players on the team?
I would say Evie Mathis. She was probably one of the biggest cheerleaders in the dugout, and even if she wasn't on the field, she was always, you know, like up, and if there was a runner going, she'd be the first one to talk. Or I feel like she was a big part, even though she wasn't always on the field.
Awesome, awesome. And then coaching-wise, of course, I know y'all call her Coach Carey, but Coach Gilmore, and then Coach Mark, Mr. Gilmore. Who are some of the other coaches?
We have Coach Johns, Coach Abby, and Coach Addie. Coach Addie's new this year. She's our pitching coach. She teaches over at Madras. Unfortunately, she couldn't be there in the state playoffs.
Okay. But Coach John, she's been with you guys for a while, I
Yes,
think.
sir.
Yeah, awesome, awesome. So Addie, junior second baseman. So we got the middle infield combo here, both juniors. So you guys are coming back next year. Had the team's top batting average. Do you play travel ball?
Yes, sir.
Who do you play with travel ball?
I play for Georgia Impact Holcomb. I play for Carey Holcomb.
Wow. So there's really been no stop since the high school season got over. You went straight to travel ball, right?
Yes, sir.
And when will that end?
We have 2 more tournaments, and then we're done until, I think we play 1 in January, and then we're shut out until March,
Probably March, yeah.
and then we play throughout the summer.
So how old were you when you started playing travel ball or softball?
I started playing travel ball when I was like 8, but then I played rec ball before, and I was like 5 or 6. But I started playing t-ball, baseball with my brother when I was like 3 and a half, 4.
Wow, 3 and a half, 4. What about you?
I started playing when I was 5.
You're 5.
I've been playing softball since I was 3.
And been pitching.
I've been pitching since I was like 7.
Yeah, because most people don't realize. I mean, that's not something you just learn overnight.
No,
Yeah.
sir.
Just to be a softball pitcher,
Yes, sir.
for sure. Wow. And I'm going back to you, Maddie, because something he asked earlier, something that people don't know about me. Would you believe my first year ever teaching, I coached fast pitch softball in Tuscaloosa, Alabama? I sure did. It's one of my favorite things to coach. It was very impressive what you did, because most of the time when you get into tournament ball like Columbus, you really need more than one pitcher,
Yes, sir.
because you're playing so many games in such a tight time frame. Talk to everybody about the challenge of knowing that you're going to get the ball every single day in the biggest games of the year, and what do you have to do really to will yourself through that, because it's a challenge mentally and physically.
You just have to have tunnel vision. You can't think about what's going on. I know my team's gonna come through and get runs for me. I just know I have to come through for them.
Is it really all about the next pitch, the next batter? Is that really as far as you let yourself really think ahead?
Yes, sir. You have to go one pitch at a time.
Yeah. So even bottom of the 7th, Saturday afternoon, 1 o'clock, probably on field 1 in Columbus, you're really just thinking about the next pitch. You didn't let your mind drift at all?
A little bit, but I had the girl who was the last out. She'd gotten on base and she had hit the ball every single time.
Yeah.
So when she came up, I knew I had to take it pitch at a time, and then the ball was hitting the air, and Addie made the diving play to end it.
Yeah, hit it off the end of the bat a little bit, right? Awesome.
Yes, sir.
So 312 strikeouts this year,
Yes, sir.
which is just a crazy number. And then 749 career strikeouts at Newnan.
Yes, sir.
That is amazing. And then Presley, of course, the game-winning hit in the state championship game. Didn't even realize that you went 4 for 4 that day, which if I went 4 for 4 in the state championship, I never would have forgot it. So that's unbelievable. And then an excellent defensive player. And then Addie, some things they said about you, the team's top batting average, which speaks to consistency, which is pretty awesome. And then made 2 game-saving plays in the state championship game. It's pretty amazing. You guys, y'all are pretty humble to be that awesome.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So what's next? I know you're Maddie, you're a senior. Where are you going next year?
Marshall University in West Virginia.
All right, going to play softball for the Thundering Herd,
Yes,
huh?
sir.
All right, what about you guys? Any ideas about post-high school, what you want to do? I know you're coming
I'm a
back for another
junior
year.
this year, but I'm going to Kennesaw State.
Cool. Okay.
I'm still deciding.
Still trying to figure it out. Well, that's okay. You got a lot of time. So community been pretty
Yes,
pretty
sir.
awesome
Yes,
since
sir.
all this happened?
It's been amazing.
Well, I want you guys to know, and I think you know this, this is a huge deal, not only for Newnan High, but for the community. And I know that everybody here is just incredibly proud of you and your teammates for bringing that first state softball championship home. That's just pretty wild. It's pretty wild.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Maddie, I know you act shy in front of the camera, but you did at one point have me convinced almost to let every student and staff member at Newnan go to Columbus
Yes,
for the
sir.
first game. What would you like to say to these folks?
I just thank y'all for all y'all support. Like, it's been amazing just having a community behind us, knowing that no matter what, we just have the support of everyone.
Cool. Hattie, what about you?
Yeah, I agree with what Maddie said. I feel like everyone was there to support us more throughout the season, and towards the end, we saw a lot more people like showing up and showing that they do care.
Awesome. Chris?
I would like to say thank you. I think it really changed the atmosphere with everybody there. I feel like the whole team felt like they had people behind them who would support them.
Yeah, and you guys have some pretty big things coming up over the next couple of weeks. I understand we're going to the city council meeting
Yes, sir.
one day next week, maybe Tuesday, and then the banquet is
Yes, sir.
next week, right?
Yes, sir.
So we'll end it with you.
Okay.
No pressure on the senior.
Okay.
What's it going to feel like, that banquet, knowing that you guys are together for the last time?
It's definitely been like a little bit of like an emptiness.
Yeah.
And like you're not going to practice every day. Like you're not with your best friends every day after school. Like it's just something you have to get used to. It's definitely a big change.
Yeah. Well, we'll end with this. You know, I heard when I was coaching, they used to say this: only one team finishes the year with a win.
Yes.
And that emptiness has got to feel a lot better when you're that one team.
Yes, sir. That's
So-
definitely helps.
I know it does. Well, congratulations to you guys, not only for winning the state championship, but for being just great representatives for Newnan High School and great representatives for this community. We couldn't be prouder of you. I thank you for coming in today, and I hope this wasn't too uncomfortable. You did great. You did absolutely great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, congratulations once again. We'll be right back, everybody. All right, everybody, if you haven't already figured it out, you're about to. Today is all about softball, and as it certainly should be. For those of you that don't know, we just had 3 extremely successful softball seasons at our high school. So today I have Franklin DeLoach, head coach of East Coweta Indians, Carly Baker, head coach Northgate High School Vikings, and then Carrie Gilmore, head coach of this year's state champion for 6A, the Newnan Cougars. So congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Congratulations to all of you on just incredible, incredible seasons, and welcome. Coach DeLoach, we're going to start with you because you are the old hand in the room right now. Been doing this for a long time. 23 seasons at East Coweta, is that right?
Yep, 23 as head coach.
Walk me through those 23 years.
Yeah, at first it was kind of rough. I can remember the days we were getting run ruled all the time, and then finally around 04 we won our first region championship, and then around 06 we made it to the Columbus for the first time, and we've been fortunate to get there 18 of the last 19 years, and yeah, so it's come a long ways. I'm very proud of all the girls and former players and everyone who's contributed over the years for our success.
Awesome, awesome. And we're going to go to Coach Baker, Carly next, and Carly, she's the newest addition to the group. But Carly, in my opinion, y'all, is what it's all about.
Yeah.
Carly played at Northgate,
I did.
coached at Northgate as an assistant, and now here you are as head coach at Northgate for the past 3 years. So talk a little bit about your journey from player to assistant to now you're playing for the state championship, for
Yeah.
goodness sakes.
So I was fortunate enough to play for the state championship and win it in 2011 under Coach Skelton. And it was at that moment that I knew I wanted to come back and coach for Northgate. Northgate's just awesome. And I look back to everything that really got me to where I am today, playing in college and coming back here. And I owe it all to Northgate and how they changed me to be a better person too. So when I was coming up to decide where I wanted to teach, I reached out to Coach Skelton, who was the head coach at that point, and she basically was like, I'd love to have you. Ended up coming back, and she was like, I only have a couple more years left here. Would you like to take over? And I could think of nothing better to do than take over for my alma mater. It's just a whirlwind for sure.
That is awesome. That's the stories, though. That's what we're after. And then Coach Gilmore finally reached the mountaintop a week ago, and you hadn't quit smiling yet. I know you haven't.
That's right.
Talk about, you started at Newnan in 2004. We were joking right before you guys went to Columbus, talking about being the longest tenured coach. And, I think we were even joking how tough it was going to be with one pitcher going down there in that tournament atmosphere. And Lordy mercy, we win the whole thing. So talk a little bit about the journey of the season.
This season was great. I have a phenomenal group of girls, and we are so excited about winning the state championship. But win or lose, I couldn't find a better group, and I couldn't love them anymore. But we started out. We knew it was going to be a battle in our region. Going into the season, I honestly didn't know if we would beat East or South Paulding. I really didn't think we would beat East Paulding twice, but we just kept winning, and things just kept working out in the right way. Maddie felt a lot of pressure throughout the whole season, but she kept pushing along, and she's got that mental focus where she's able to do that. She's able to handle that pressure. She was able to push her teammates, make sure that they backed her up, and they were there for her. Like you talked to our middle infielders, they're elite players also, and they were just able to get the rest of the team on board.
You guys, of course, did a phenomenal job this year. And everybody here has won and won a lot. Been a part of state championships, won state championships as coaches. It's about more than that, isn't it?
Definitely.
Tell me a little bit about how it's about more than that for you.
For me, it's just spending time with the girls. Like Carly said, how Northgate had such an impact on her. It's helping them develop as people, whether we win or lose. Obviously, everybody wants to win, but we try to build character, let them know the most important things in life. And as public school teachers, I can't say a lot to them. I can pray for them, but I can't say a lot to them. We do have 2 FCA leaders that come pray with them before every game. They're doing team bonding things at practice. So we spent 2 practices before the playoffs where we're just working on team bonding. So we did some softball things, but we were also working a lot on team bonding. And I think that helped make us successful also.
And Coach DeLoach, we were talking earlier with some of the staff. I think 2 of the 3 high schools, we've got 35% of our students play sports at one, 33% at the other. And I haven't gotten the number from the 3rd one yet, but I'm assuming it's going to be very, very similar. Talk to me about the difference that sports, because you coach softball and baseball, but the difference that sports make for our kids academically, socially, whole 9 yards.
That's an easy one. I'm a product of it myself. There's an old saying that sometimes the kid needs softball more than softball needs the kid, or vice versa for football or baseball, basketball, whatever. I am truly convinced a young person, a student athlete being involved in their sport of their choice, and that just gives them motivation. They're around other kids that know that they have to make the grades and have to meet those eligibility standards, and it just gives them, if it's a kid like me, that like I was years ago, it gives me a reason to really push myself and to do right, act right, do well in the classroom. And there's a lot of young people out there that just really keeps them grounded.
Yeah. And Coach Baker, looking from the outside in, people would say, man, Northgate is probably a pretty easy year. They had really easy, but it wasn't all easy, was it? And you were working really hard behind the scenes to develop some of those character traits that Coach is talking about. Talk a little bit about that.
So it's one of my biggest, things that I want to push across, that we prepare our kids for life outside of softball. So one of the best things we integrated this year was Life Skill Wednesday. So they learned how to change a tire. They learned self-defense. They learned how to balance a checkbook, which some of them didn't even know what a checkbook was. They learned how to buy a house and apply for all that stuff. And so those are things that they'll be able to carry over into the when they leave Northgate. But we also do all these. We have an FCA leader like Coach Gilmore was talking about, who's just really involved with our kids. And every Wednesday after the Life Skill Wednesday, they would stay behind and do Bible study together and just really, really grow together. And so it was huge for us.
Coach Gilmore, I understand the winningest head coach at Newnan. Is that right?
That's what they told me this
Yeah.
year. Yeah.
That's pretty wild, huh?
It is, yeah.
You told me it just meant you had been there the longest, but I don't believe that.
I think it really just means I'm old. That's what I think it means. No, but I mean, I really had no idea. I didn't really even know that they did a statistic like that across all sports. I will say it was an honor because I know we've had some great coaches. I beat out Kenny Morris, and to me, Mark, that's who was Mark's mentor, basically. Mark came in coaching for him, and so to me, we always looked up to him as being a great coach and just a phenomenal person. So it really was an honor to find that out.
Well, you mentioned your husband, Mark, and of course, I gotta say something about Mark. Mark's your assistant in softball.
He is, yes.
And Newnan softball, really, when you say it is a family affair, it truly is. What does that mean to you, though, to be able to experience state championship with your family?
I think that was the best part for me, for sure, to know that they were all there. And Mark has done whatever I needed him to do. He came out just because he didn't want to be home alone with the dog, but then he ended up playing a huge role in the coaching aspect. He took some time off when we had our third kid, but then he came back and he's played a really important part. He's coached our JV team, and if you've seen our JV team, you know that's a challenge, but he put so much in to get them ready to play varsity. And then the way the girls treat my kids, sometimes I feel bad my kids don't get to go home after school and play, but then I see them with the baseball players and the softball players, and I know that they're getting an experience that other kids will never have in their lifetime.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. I mean, I drive by there a lot and see them dragging the field and covered in dirt and all that, and I know it had to be awesome to be able to experience that.
Yes, it meant a lot to have my whole family there on the field.
Yeah, awesome. Coach DeLoach, just a couple years ago, I think we had you at a board meeting, and you had 10 kids that were going to play Division I softball. They were signing college scholarships to go play softball. Talk about what that means to you, not only as a coach, but as just a mentor to these people. They're being set up for life through softball.
Yeah, I mean, the chances of any young lady going off and playing softball as a profession and making a long-time living, it's just not there in the game of softball. But what is there to give them provide a platform for them to go off to college, get a college degree, and it really is some of the most rewarding things. This is my 28th year overall coaching, and it's just hearing about that former player that's now doing this or now doing that. If it's Megan Chicalo, who's now an airline pilot, who was our pitcher years ago, or when I go get my teeth cleaned and Katie Bedrosian's cleaning my teeth because she's a dental hygienist, or Charles Smith, a former baseball player, is actually my dentist. I'm just so proud of our former players and the ones that have a chance to go play college softball, or for any of the student athletes can go off and play, because it's helping them have a better chance for a better future.
And Carly, softball, I mean, it clearly did that for you.
It did.
The relationships that you developed clearly paid off, and the skills you learned clearly paid off.
For sure.
Talk a little bit about some of those skills you use to this day.
So Coach Skelton always did a really good job of teaching us time management. I'm one of those crazy people that loves school. So when I was in school, I would always make sure to take the maximum amount of classes just because I just loved being in there. And so really learning how to balance softball and waking up in the morning for a 5 a.m. weightlifting class, going to an 8 a.m. class, and then going all day to classes, then practice, and then coming back doing study hall and doing it all over again. The lessons you learn from doing that is invaluable. It's stuff that I'll take forever and ever as I keep going.
So what's next for everybody? I understand that travel ball started the day after the state championship game, which to me is just crazy, but I won't go there. But what's next as far as coaches go? A little bit of downtime maybe for the holidays?
To me, November and December are family time. So, I mean, we do have a little bit, my kids are off of sports. We get a little bit of a break from softball. We do have the Georgia Dugout Club senior game coming up, so we'll go to that. It's not quite as stressful as the fall and spring for me, though.
And I'm sure we'll all have no shortage of kids playing in the Georgia Dugout Club.
That's right.
Wild. Well, I know this. Some people may take your success for granted. I'm not one who does, but that success goes far beyond what you're doing on the field. What you guys are doing on the field is incredible, and it will be remembered for a very long time. To have all 3 schools either state champion or runner-up, I think it's unheard of in a district our size. But that pales in comparison to the work that you guys are doing, mentoring kids and preparing them, really what we're after in our school system, empowering them for success in school and life. So I can't thank you guys enough for what you're doing. I know I keep pointing to Carly because Carly is the illustration of what we're after.
Yeah.
We want them all to come back and to be successful and to pour back into others, just as you guys are now pouring into kids. So thank y'all. Thank y'all so much for what you do for our young people. Folks, that's it. We've got 3 state champion level softball programs here in Coweta County, and they do amazing work making sure that our kids have every opportunity to be successful in school and life, and we can't thank them enough. Thank y'all for being here.
Thank you very much.
We'll be right back. It's no secret that we want to win, and boy, we do a lot of that here in Coweta in our extracurricular sports and activities. But sports is so much more than wins and losses. If you've seen today, these coaches are pouring into kids and they're empowering them for success in school and in life. The lessons go far beyond the field. I can't thank all of our coaches here in the district enough for what they do to pour into our kids, and can't wait to see the success that each of them have in the future. Until next time, this is Evan Horton signing off from The Update.